Well, Sean, delighted to confirm that you are part of the Blues family again in 2023-24. Just how are you feeling going into the new season at the moment?
Yeah, really excited. Enjoyable first season here. In fairness, the lads have been great. The fans have been, even better. Great place to be, and yeah, in the end, it was, I suppose, a decision just based on backing things up. What's the point in freshing start somewhere else again when I can try and replicate this season and push on even more. I'd love to do nothing more than that. So yeah, that's my thinking.
In terms of that first season, as you said, you couldn't really go any better in terms of joint top try scorer in the championship, 20 in total, a lot of minutes, different positions. Did that make the transition over here a little bit easier that you were playing consistently?
That wasn't the case at the start of the season. It certainly was, a tough transition. It always was going to be coming from a full-time environment into a part-time environment, but nonetheless, I kept my head down and just tried to get on with things really. The start of the season, I had a few starts. There was a few games where I wasn't involved at all, and I just tried to get on with things and back myself, I suppose. And then thankfully, the second half of the season, I just let my rugby do the talking, I suppose. And in fairness to the coaches and everyone else, you get rewarded for that, and sometimes it's harder to stop momentum than generate it. And I suppose I was nearly a second half of the season player this year, and if anything I would have liked if the season kept continuing on for another few weeks, but that's the way things goes. And I'd be looking to hit the ground running now next season.
In terms of personal highlights, it'd be fair to say there's quite a few. Can you try and hone in on one, because you've got the exultation of 3,000 fans here, 4 tries against Doncaster, but a hat-trick and a match winner at Anthill on Derby Day. Any others, or are you picking one of those two?
They were definitely special moments, in fairness. I had my family over and my girlfriend over for the game against Doncaster, 4 tries at home, and then I obviously really enjoyed the Anthill game, local rivals and all that. That was a real tough game, but in terms of rugby, I could name 4, 5, 6 games for you really, to be honest. But it was really special having my granny over here and my mother over for the home game against Jersey. She's rugby crazy, so it meant a lot to me for her to be here. Unfortunately, the result didn't go our way that day, but I was playing against a friend from home too, so that was a special occasion for me. Yeah.
And in terms of moving into next season, you obviously want to create more memories. How do you go about doing that?
Again, I think it's just it's a new season. There's no point getting caught up on anything that happened the season beforehand. I was happy that I was able to turn my momentum and keep it going, but it's very much so back to the drawing board. That doesn't mean I forget what happened this year, but it's a new season. Everyone starts on zero again. So I suppose for me it's great that I had I think it was 27 games or whatever. That's a lot of minutes. It's the most rugby I've played in a good few years, and thankfully I was getting on the score sheet quite a bit, but it doesn't mean a whole pile if you can't back it up again. And that's definitely my thinking about staying on here. It's a matter of trying to back things up. It looks a lot better if you can back it up in the same place, in my opinion. So,
and in terms of that new campaign, do you feel that it's your second season in England? It's actually a lot tougher than probably what we're saying in terms of coming over from Ireland, coming to a new club, new country, trying to settle in. You don't have to do that going into next season. Do you feel that's an easier starting point for you next season, that you don't have that transitionary 6 weeks, you're straight into it, straight going?
Definitely, yeah, without any doubt. Obviously, when I first moved over here last season, it was you're starting from scratch. You need to make friends. You need to learn names. You need to learn the system. You need to get on with the right people. All these kind of things, and thankfully, heading into next season, we've held on to the core bunch of the group, which are a great bunch of lads before a great bunch of players. And I think looking from the inside in, I suppose the people that we've added to the squad for next season, all great players who'll only add to that environment. So I think we'll be looking to push on from where we finished this year, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, how do we go about pushing on? Because there will be a lot of teams in this championship that will be trying to do the same. Mm-hmm. We've got to almost replicate and maybe even better it, because there's clubs with a lot bigger budgets in this league. Mm-hmm. How do we go about continuing to punch above our weight?
Well, I suppose bar the last few games, we certainly made Golden Road a bit of a fortress. A bit disappointing that the fact that three teams that did a job wasn't here with the three teams ahead of us, but that says something in itself. But I suppose we can't look too much further beyond game by game. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but we certainly left a lot of away games behind us last year. You could name them all yourself, but 1-2 score games where we just start a game too slow and then we're playing catch up. So I think there's been a lot of reflection this season. Obviously, we ended on a bit of a downer last game against Cavan. That certainly has left a sting in our backside, in the sense that lads have been disappointed ending the season. It's not a nice send off for lads that are moving on and whatnot. It's always you like to look back on fond memories of your last time somewhere, and we couldn't do that for the lads leaving. So I think it's about focusing on ourselves, to be honest. Like you said, there's a few teams in the league that bigger spending budget and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it's just team against team. It's rugby. We're not here to complain. We're here to perform, and I think we're putting together a real good bunch of lads for the season next year, and I see no reason why we can't creep our way up the table more so than we did this year, hopefully.